Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Connor Reynolds, and this is their Nerdic Gods podcast, episode 264. Joining me, as always, Daniel Neverroli.
What's up, gamers?
Hey, Daniel.
What's going on?
How you doing?
I'm alright. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Hey, you got a PS5 Pro. You better be more than good.
I do. I got a PS5 Pro. I got the pisser technology.
The what? Excuse me?
The pisser technology. Do you know about the pisser technology?
I don't.
You don't know about the pisser technology? So, 2 to 3 times a week, Mark Cerny sneaks into your room while you're sleeping and takes a piss in your mouth.
What?
It's awesome, honestly. That's what I paid $700 for. It's fucking great, dude.
So
Like,
you paid for that to happen?
oh yeah, and like I gargle it, and I just love it. I'm like, thank you, Mark Cerny.
Jesus.
Sometimes Mark Cerny's out and he can't make it because he's like busy and shit. So they just get Garth from Wayne's World to do it. And you can't tell the difference really.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
Yeah, man. I mean, hey, you got to spend big to win big. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. How much more did you spend to get that?
Well, I got the warranty on it just to make sure that, like, in case Mark Cerny gets damaged on the travel over here, that, like, it's intact still. So I'm getting that piss, Daniel. Let me tell you.
Did he measure your ears?
Oh yeah, he did that.
Did he do that finally?
Oh yeah. He got in there. He was like a doctor, with that little like light thing that they look in your ear with. It's really uncomfortable. Like, yeah, he got in there, looked in the ears, was like, okay, we got to make sure this is just right to get the 3D sound. He used a bunch of big words I didn't understand, and it was great. It's great. It's what you pay for.
Happened to them just take a picture of your ear or something? What was that? What was that?
I don't even remember.
Was it for like some sort of headphones or something, or like earplug type?
Dude, I have no idea.
You take a picture, you send it to Mark Cerny.
Sometimes I put that video on to fall asleep too. It's fucking great, dude.
Insane. What was happening back then?
I don't know. Mark Cerny, man, what an interesting guy. We should get him on the show. It'd be fun. He could just talk completely over our heads.
Sure.
And I'll just ask him about Knack 3.
Yeah, where's Knack 3? That's the only question we really have.
That's the only thing I want. Knack in Ready Player One, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
I don't remember it. I've seen the movie.
Big character, you got to find him. He's in the background somewhere. Good old Knack, all those particles that come off Knack.
Yeah.
Gotta love it, man. A lot of particles. You ever play that game?
No.
It's awful. It's pretty awful.
Yeah, I've heard it is.
The first one was fine. I probably made it like halfway through it, but I don't know. It felt like a tech demo launch game type of thing. Never played the second one. Never will.
I think the second one's supposed to be a little bit better or something.
It probably is.
You're starting from the bottom.
That doesn't sound. It sounds like a okay idea. Mark Cerny making another. Like, what team made that? Was that Studio Japan at the time?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So they were out. They didn't get shut down all the way up till when did Knack 2 come out? Like 2017.
That sounds right. Yeah.
They didn't get
maybe
shut
2016.
Down okay, interesting.
It might have been 2013 and then 2016.
And they just had Mark Cerny.
Or 2015.
It's funny because Mark Cerny was the director on the original Spyro, I believe. So it's like you'd think he'd be able to make a good 3D platformer.
But he was working for Insomniac at the time?
I believe so. Yeah. I think I'm correct on that. Maybe I'm completely making this up, but I'm pretty sure that was the case.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Was it Insomniac? No.
Was it not?
Was Sucker Punch, right?
Sucker Punch.
I think. Or did Sucker Punch make Sly?
Sucker Punch made Sly.
Okay. Sucker Punch made Sly. Who made Spyro?
Was it not Insomniac? That's what I thought it was.
We gotta look this up.
Please. I have no idea. That's who I thought did it.
Yeah, I can't remember now. I know it's one.
It's obviously Crash and Jack. That's Naughty Dog.
Yeah. Oh no, you're right.
Insomniac. Yeah, it was Insomniac. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay. Interesting.
They only did the first 3, and then somebody else started doing that.
Well, yeah, they didn't make the Frodo games.
The Frodo games.
You remember that one?
No.
Frodo was he voiced Spyro.
Oh,
Elijah Wood.
No. Elijah Wood did.
One of the
it
was one of the PS2 ones.
That's when like Crash and Spyro were not made by.
Wasn't it like David Spade did the voice of the little fly thing, little spark guy?
I don't know.
I think he did. They were going all in on Spyro back then.
Well, same with Crash. Crash had a bunch of other games too, and it wasn't.
Insomniac, very interesting because they went from Spyro and then they were just like, "Fuck it, we're going to Ratchet," and then they just make a million of Ratchets. You figured they could have just stuck with Spyro, no?
Maybe it was because like they wanted to try something new, and then PlayStation was like, make us more of this, and then like
Yeah,
they just got
maybe,
other
but
teams
like
to do it.
PlayStation didn't own the Spyro IP.
Yeah, but they probably had some like development in it, I
Yeah,
would assume, especially in the early days.
yeah, early days. Yeah, yeah. I wonder when that must have been an interesting time to be covering games to like see the whole like because how did Activision end up with Crash and Spyro? You know?
It was probably through some purchasing of like those other studios, I would assume, that were
Yeah,
doing it.
and just the IPs too. It's not like Activision bought Naughty Dog and Insomniac. You know?
Yeah,
It's interesting. It's interesting. It's like that type of shit wouldn't happen today. You know?
that's a good point. Unless, yeah, we talk about like
Unless they like
Konami.
originally fund the IP, you know, and they just like
Yeah.
originally own the IP. That happens today, but it's not necessarily like that today.
hmm I guess like it's now we more of like, oh man, could some of these people just sell their IP?
Yeah.
Like we talk about like Warner selling their IP, or Konami. People have been wanting them to sell stuff, but like yeah, I
No
don't
one
think
ever
any of
would.
that
Like
would.
that never
Yeah,
happens. We
I don't
never
think that would
see
ever
like,
happen
oh, this
really.
person just bought this IP. I guess Lord of the Rings recently kind of comes to mind with that whole like Embracer situation, if you
That was
remember.
like a multimedia,
Right, yeah.
like
That was like the
it's a
whole
weird
didn't they
deal.
buy the whole thing that already owned Lord of the Rings or whatever? The whole
hmm
Tolkien estate. Yeah. Very interesting. It's also interesting back then how like PlayStation they weren't really even making first party games. That's really not how the industry was being run, except for Nintendo. Like it was really just
hmm
Nintendo making first party games for their console. PS1, there really aren't like first party games.
That's when a lot of companies started like forming together,
Yeah.
like Bandai and Namco and
Mm,
all that kind of stuff.
Square,
Square and
Enix. Yeah.
Enix, and yeah, like companies started doing that, and then I think that's probably when things started just getting gobbled up, and now we're here with everything getting gobbled up all the time, and then other things getting shut down. So
Yeah. All the time. Which we will talk
all the
about
time.
today.
Yeah,
Speaking of which, Daniel, it's been another busy week in the world of video games.
it has.
It
Yeah,
has,
a
yeah.
lot of stories today.
Stuff going on. Big business happening. Let's get into it. First up, then, a Pokemon Presents happened earlier today on what's today, February 27th, 2025. We can go over the Pokemon Presents. Daniel, did you watch the Pokemon Presents? I know you're a big
I watched.
Pokemon fan, Pokemon fanatic. Pokemon.
Yeah,
Did you ever
yeah,
get
you
into
can't
the
see.
cards? Like, do you
No,
own a lot of Pokemon cards? Yeah, okay.
no. I have those paintings that I've showed you before. They're actually on
Yeah,
this wall though.
those are
They're
fucking
right
cool.
above me. Um, yeah. So I didn't really watch the full like direct. Maybe I'll do that like later tonight. But I did like peek at like the trailers. Like I watched the Pokemon Legend ZA trailer. Um,
Do we know
I
officially? Are
saw.
we going ZA or are we going ZA? They said it.
I'm not saying ZA.
I want to say ZA. I think it
You can
sounds a
say
lot
ZA.
cooler. You know,
I'm saying ZA. It's a bad name regardless.
it is, but like ZA just sounds cool. I wish it was like more Italy focused. You know, with
But
ZA,
when I
the whole
hear
pizza
za,
angle.
that's like people doing slang for pizza, and I
Right.
don't like when people do that.
Get a
So
slice of ZA.
yeah, no. Mm-mm.
Honestly, anyone ever says that to me, though, I'm slapping the shut out of them right then and
Yeah,
there.
no,
Yeah,
yeah.
don't ever say
I don't like it. I don't like it. Yo, bro, the sauce is so
ZA.
good.
Shut up. Anyways, please continue.
uh, yeah. So I saw some of the that Legends trailer. It looks great. I'm excited for like the offshoot stuff because I did really like Arceus. Um, so I hope it has the similar catching, like how Arceus was very catching focused and not necessarily like about the battling as much. So I hope that that's kind of what they continue with this Legends like series. Um, definitely. Well, we can get more into it, I guess, later. But not a date I expected. I was
Yeah,
expecting
so
it.
late
Normally, Pokemon
2025,
is
right?
later.
Yeah.
Yeah, normally Pokemon is later, but I was expecting it to be early in the year.
Yeah, I think when it
Um,
was originally announced, I think we were all kind of assuming around like now, like kind of like they
yeah,
did with the first one, like very
yeah, I think it
early
was like
in
January,
2025.
right?
But it seems like this will be their big fall game.
November,
Yeah, which is
November,
smart too,
which
right?
is yeah. Pokemon usually likes to have a game in November.
Yeah.
That's like it always sells, so they do it right around the holidays.
And now, like, certainly teeing this up to be a big Switch 2 game.
Hmm.
right? Like confirmed
For
for
sure.
that. I think
Holidays, yeah,
some
there you buy
speculation
this
this
and
would have came out even before that, but yeah, definitely not
uh,
now.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you buy your Switch 2 and Pokemon. That's kinda I think what they're gonna do
Yeah,
during, like, the holidays, have, like, a bundle with Pokemon. I
yeah,
think that'd be
makes
really
sense.
smart.
Yeah, it was interesting looking at the trailer. It kind of looks like this whole game takes place in a giant city, almost. Like I don't know if you're like going outside. There must be
Yeah,
like
so this is the
wilderness or
city
whatever.
from, what, Gen 5? Is that correct?
I have
Is
no
this the
idea.
city from Black and White?
Yeah.
I'd have to do some research. I think that this is a city we've returned to, so it's similar to how Arceus was. You returned in I forget whatever city that was in Arceus. Um, but I think this is a return to a city again. But yeah, it's like in a big old city. Arceus, you like were in like that farm town, and then you would run out into the wild. So this, I guess, it's a much bigger hub world, and then I guess you're going out as well, probably to do things. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like that idea. Like taking place in a
Yeah,
big city, but I don't know. I guess the more stuff you have jam packed into this open world, the worse it's gonna run. But I don't know with the
yeah. Arceus had a problem running too.
yeah, I don't know if that's something we should be worried about with the Switch 2, but this is a Switch 1 game as well, so I don't know. That's gonna be
I'm
an
gonna be
interesting
worried
thing. Yeah.
one way or another.
Yeah,
It's
I
Game
guess both.
Freak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
As
Dude, they
much as
just
I
work
love
so
Scarlet
quick
and
over there,
Violet,
man.
it didn't
It's
run well.
crazy because you always hear about Game Freak and that they have like a smaller team too. Like
They're
it's
not as big as
apparently
people
not
think.
even as big as like a lot of other AAA teams, and it's like
Like
damn,
hundred
and you
to
guys
80
just
people.
shoveling out games every year, twice a year sometimes. It's like Jesus Christ, Nintendo, give them a break. The fucking poor slaves over a Game Freak. Just
Yeah.
some
Yeah, they're
poor
not big at
artist
all.
just sitting there drawing random Pokemon. Like this one's a fucking trash can. Nintendo's like,
He's looking
put it in
around.
the
What do I
fucking
make?
game.
What do I do for a Pokemon? I need an idea. And he just makes a crumble up piece of paper.
Oh, I'll draw one to represent my life. Here's the trash can.
Oof.
Oh, yes, this is interesting. I don't know. I might check out this one. I didn't check out Pokemon's Legends
Yeah, you
Arceus,
didn't
but
play Arceus, yeah.
yeah, I'm just not a big fan of the whole catching Pokemon thing. It's
See, that's why I wanted you to play Arceus at the time
just
because
to
it
see
made
if I like
catching
the catching.
well, it was different, and the catching it was the best the catching has ever been in Pokemon and still has been. Like it has better catching than Scarlet and Violet, which came out the same year. Didn't it come out the same year, right? Wasn't that the game?
Yeah, I think it was like
It was that
Arceus
beginning and the end.
January, and then yeah,
Yeah.
fall was
Um,
Scarlet.
like Arceus just had better catching. It's like crazy. It, like as like a side game that was just better at catching than a mainline Gen 9 game. But um yeah, I wanted you to check it out. So hopefully like if this kind of entices you and hopefully it has the same catching from Arceus, that's what I would want.
Yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be a busy fall, so not entirely
Yeah, I
sure
mean
if this is
GTA.
like on the top of my priority, right? And then GTA is just fucking Jesus, man. I think people are truly like underestimating how big that's gonna be. I don't really think people quite understand that.
Yeah.
Like, no, this is gonna take fucking over everyone.
Hmm.
It's like
For a long
everyone's
time.
gonna be playing GTA. So, it's Jesus
There are
Christ.
people
It's
that
gonna
don't
be
really game
so
much that play
are
GTA.
100% gonna go out and get GTA. Like
Yeah.
100%. Like it's gonna be fucking massive. All right, yeah. Continuing on with the Pokemon Presents then. So yeah, Legends of Zelda coming out sometime late 2025. Then they had some other stuff. Pokemon Champions seems to be a new mobile game. Centered
They also
around
come into Switch.
battling Pokemon. Oh, also coming to Switch here too. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah, this seems like it's going to be just from like what I've gathered, like a stadium-like game where it's just kind of the battling. I don't know if they've really talked about how you pick Pokemon. Like obviously you're not going out catching things if it's just a battler. So like, do you pick like a person and then that person has like their set of
Oh,
Pokemon?
like their team already.
Yeah,
And then you just
is
play
like
as
is that
them.
how it's going to be? Because like that picture has like different trainers, or are you making your own trainer and you just get to pick whatever Pokemon you want?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't know.
curious.
Yeah, that is interesting. They have been kind of killing it with these mobile Pokemon games though. Like that card game
Hmm.
from last year was super popular. So,
Yeah,
and then I think there was
that's
another
just
one,
how
right?
That's just how popular the Pokemon card game is in general. Like it's just a
Yeah.
popular.
I think that always made sense though when Nintendo, especially when Nintendo went big into mobile last gen at some point. I guess it's weird calling it last gen, but whatever. Like I don't know, 2017-ish,
I
2016,
mean, when
when
was
they went
Super Mario
super
Run?
big. Yeah, right around there. When they were going there, it always made a lot of sense to go in big with Pokemon on mobile, and they
Biggest
certainly have
IP?
capitalized on that. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, continuing on then we got again, here's just more Pokemon TCG. This is the one I was just talking about, right?
Hmm.
From last
Yeah,
year.
it's like a
Yeah.
new set coming out or something.
Let's get more of that. Pokemon Unite, the Pokemon MOBA is expanding its roster in 2025. Okay. That already exists apparently. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you don't remember that MOBA? Yeah,
Oh
Unite.
god, yeah,
Remember Nat
I'm
was
so
playing that
I'll be
game?
entirely honest, Daniel.
It's on Switch.
I do not care about Pokemon.
It doesn't look good to me. I love Pokemon. I remember
uh
Nat played that game.
oh, did you?
He liked
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Then we got Pokemon Masters X.
Yeah, I don't remember this one. Is that game already exists, doesn't it?
It's celebrating its 5-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
out 5 years. Pokemon, more Pokemon Sleep was in here.
Ugh,
Hell
can't
yeah.
wait.
Can't wait.
Most anticipated game.
Fuck yeah, man. Can't wait
I
to
forgot
sleep.
to draft that in our fantasy.
Some I play that game every day actually.
Every night.
Every
I'm
night.
playing.
Every night I play that game for like 8
My
hours.
favorite.
It's great, man.
Yep.
What else was in here? Pokemon Cafe Remix.
Mm-hmm.
A new Apple themed menu is coming to the puzzle game. Okay, okay. Oh, so an Apple theme for your Pokemon Cafe Remix. There you go.
Yeah, that's a weird little game.
Well, Nintendo
It's on Switch.
they gotta expand their theme park thing into and have like a Pokemon section, right?
That'd
Like
be
a
crazy.
Pokemon land.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, that makes too much sense.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're probably thinking about that.
They 100% got.
It's probably the problem is like the IP is like owned by 3 different people. So maybe there's some like complications with getting a theme park.
Is the US Nintendo theme park, is that connected to Universal? Because this is all with Universal.
I'm pretty sure,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so that part's just connected to Universal.
I'm pretty sure that's how it is. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I wonder. I mean, they're gonna have to expand it again. You know, get some Pokemon up in there. Cause that would be fucking cool. Take pictures with all your favorite Pokemon. You know.
That sounds crazy.
Hey, little Johnny, let's take a picture with fucking Zapdos over there. You know, box you. I always like Zapdos. You know, Zapdos might be my favorite Pokemon.
That's a legendary, one of the legendary birds.
He's just cool. He looks like a giant baby chicken that's like really angry.
Yeah, he's like doing like
yeah,
gonna talon you.
Sprawled out.
Yeah, sprawled out, and he's gonna like attack you.
Just a badass.
I like Articuno.
Which one is that? Is that like the dog?
That's the other bird. No, it's the other bird.
Oh, it's our bird. Is that the blue one?
That's the blue one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You're thinking about Suicune?
Maybe.
Suicune's that like bluish, purplish dog looking thing. Has like a cloud around it.
Yeah.
Exactly I love Suicune as well.
Yeah,
Suicune's
that's a cool one. That's a cool one. What's the one that can talk? The bird, the legendary
bird. The bird that can talk.
Yeah, he talked in like one of the movies.
You talking about Lugia?
There you go. That one, yeah.
The white one?
Yeah. He could talk.
Oh, there's Mewtwo talked.
Mewtwo did talk. So did one of the little otter or the little pink otter things. I don't even know if it's an otter.
Pink otter things?
I don't even know.
The Slowpoke?
Yeah, there you go.
The Slowbro?
I think talked. I remember these movies.
Pokemon.
What
about Entei?
What a weird thing. Which one's that?
That was one of the legendary dogs with Suicune.
Okay.
It was the one with the star on his head.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
There was a fire one too, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Okay.
I think that's the fire one. I think Entei is
the fire one. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Right, I forget what the third one is. I don't remember.
More Pokemon. What do we think about Pokemon? The next mainline 2026? Fall 2026-ish?
I think I said last week that next Pokemon Day we'd probably see it. So yeah, I mean I could see it at the end of next year.
Is that all the way next year then? Pokemon Day?
Yeah, they won't.
Year theme Pokemon Day.
Yeah, they won't announce it. They usually are pretty quick with announcing and then releasing for Pokemon. So I'd probably say that you'd show it off next year.
Okay, cool.
Coming out maybe the end of next year.
Well, there you go. That was your Pokemon Presents.
Yeah, not too bad. Not that much, but hey, we got a new game and more Legends, like that's kind of what we wanted was more Legends. See that game.
Yeah, I don't
That's
really know what more you expect from this, you know. It's
I guess if you expect the next gen, but
yeah, I mean there was a very slight chance of that happening, I guess,
yeah.
but yeah, I think Pokemon fans should be satisfied
hmm
enough. Maybe those freaks are never satisfied. I have no
Maybe
idea.
actually get a date for the Legends game would have been nice, but
Sure.
they're still saying
Yeah.
this year, so
Yeah, I mean they're saying late. I mean it's gonna be November, you know.
hmm
Always is. All right. Well, we'll continue on with the news then. Next up, Xbox has decided to delay Fable into 2026. No reason given as to why, but we did get a small glimpse of some more gameplay of Fable, about a like minute long. Looked like some B-reel type thing going on
some
here.
combat,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think
Um,
who was doing the interview? I know it was Tina Amini doing the interview, but she was interviewing someone uh that it did not
actually,
recognize. Yeah, this is where it came from. It was some
okay,
Xbox head. I have no idea who it was.
okay.
It wasn't any of the recognizable guys though. Like it wasn't Phil, it wasn't Matt Booty, and it wasn't Sarah Bond. So I don't know who the fuck it was. But
Was it from Playground?
no, because he was like going over a bunch of Xbox things. He was like kind of talking
Okay,
about the slate for this year, and then he brought up that Fable was getting delayed. I could look.
okay. Yeah, this was interesting. It seems like they're delaying mostly just to make sure that the game's perfect, and I think that's fine. Their Xbox already has a lot that's coming out this year, and they want to make sure Fable comes out correct for the Fable fans. So, delay as much as you want. I have no problem with it. The game looks pretty fun, so I've not really played the series, so this will definitely be probably my first introduction to the Fable games. Um,
Craig Duncan.
Craig Duncan.
I don't even know who that is.
What is his title? Does it
Xbox
have a
Game
title?
Studios chief, Craig Duncan.
Hmm, okay.
Never heard of this guy.
Nope. That's fine though. There's a lot of people that work at
Yeah,
Xbox.
I guess. Yeah, decent name, Craig Duncan. I like it. It sounds like an athlete.
He is an athlete.
Craig Duncan.
Craig Duncan on him.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Yeah, Fable get delayed. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I figured either Outer Worlds 2 or Fable would be the ones to get kicked out of this year. I think Xbox is gonna run in this problem like every year. You know, they did it last year with Avowed, and they were like, fall's too busy, and we got a lot of shit coming out. Let's just kick the bucket on one of these. Kick
hmm
them down the road a little bit. Whichever one needs more time, go ahead, take the time you need because we got a bunch of shit coming out, right? Like Xbox Fall should be now Outer Worlds 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, and Call of Duty, right? So
hmm
and possibly more. So yeah, I'm not surprised that one of these was gonna get the boot. I kind of figured it would be Outer Worlds 2 just because Obsidian already put out a game this year, and it was just like, oh, okay, you guys don't need to put out another game this year. Might as well just go early next year. But yeah, whatever. Ended up being Fable. Fine with me. No complaints really. I'm very much looking forward to this game. I think it looks awesome. I think the combat looked actually pretty cool in that little glimpse we
Yeah,
got there.
looks pretty
Game
fun.
looked absolutely beautiful. So I was like, all
Yeah,
right, cool.
this is that playground tech.
Yeah. You could tell too, man. It looked absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, no big surprise here. I mean, my only disappointment here is that they just announced this way too early. But
Yeah,
Xbox at this point has announced their entire slate way too early. You know, besides like the game,
it just
besides like
seems to be
Ninja
what they
Gaiden
do.
4. But like, yeah, they announced these. I mean, shit, man. Fable. I mean, we heard about Fable in 2018 going on here, so it's been a very long time since
When
we
was
actually
that
heard about it.
teaser?
2020.
Was that 2018? 2020 was the teaser.
2020
Okay.
was the teaser, so already been 5 years from there. So yeah, they just they got to stop announcing these things way too early, man. It's they seem like on a little bit of a better path now. Like I don't expect Gears E-Day to come out in fucking 2029 or whatever, right? I would expect that
It'll
to be
probably be
like a
next year.
2026 game, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, they just gotta knock that off, stop doing that, which hopefully they do now. There's really no reason to do that anymore with the amount of teams they have and the
hmm
amount of IP and the amount of games they have. So really no reason going forward that we should be announcing games 5 years before they come out.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, very much looking
Yeah. I
forward
don't.
to
I don't
Fable.
like that. I'm like a 6 month type person.
Yeah, I would
Announce
prefer
it,
that. Yeah.
gameplay 6 months later.
Yeah,
So
shit. I'd
that's
be
about it.
totally down for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that does leave a little bit of an opening for Xbox's fall if they wanted to. There are rumors that Gears E-Day could come out this year, which I would
I
find.
guess we'd have to wait for the showcase,
Yeah,
right?
we'd have to wait for the showcase to like really find out. But I don't know. I find that unplausible, but I guess we'll
I don't think
see.
so.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but
I'd say
that wouldn't
next
make a lot of
fall.
sense. But yeah, hopefully you can give Fable its good own little space now, right? Like maybe come out same time like Avowed kind of did mid-February or whatever if they wanted
Yeah.
to, March even. But
Yeah, so what is that next year for them? It's gonna be what? Fable, Gears, Perfect Dark? Is
Perfect
that kind of
Dark. Yeah, I would expect
is that
Clockwork
next year for
Revolution
them?
to be next year
Clockwork
too.
Revolution, maybe?
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw a good chunk of gameplay when that game got
We did.
revealed, so I wouldn't expect that game to be too far out. So yeah, I'll kind of expect those to be the big hitters next year. Hopefully,
That's
Perfect
a good
Dark.
slate.
Yeah, hopefully Perfect Dark would be ready. That'd be really cool too. Have that, and then obviously COD and whatever. Another
Mhm.
Forza possibly too. Like Playground might
Oh,
end
yeah,
up putting out two games
Horizon,
next
yeah,
year, right?
yeah. Well, they have 2 different teams now,
Right.
so yeah, I could see Horizon 6 coming
Still,
out at the
could
end
be
of
a
the
giant year for them. I've raking
yeah,
in the
for sure.
dough with Fable and a Forza game. So
I mean, they're already ranking in dough with Call of Duty every year, so,
right, right. Oh, I just mean
yeah.
like Playground specifically, but yeah,
Oh, Playgrounds, yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure, Playground specifically. Well, this year as well, they're putting PlayStation's actually getting a good car game, next month or
Oof,
April.
oof. Shots fired,
Oof.
Danny. Shots fired. Shots fired. What about Twisted Metal?
Who?
Twisted Metal.
What is that?
Go play Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal's cool, man.
Yeah, it's a series I'd like to play. I always hear like
Uh,
Twisted of Black. Check out that one.
all right. Continuing on, then. Where are we? NetEase could potentially shut down more of its non-Chinese studios after the company closed down. Closed down two of them just last week. So that was what was
It
it?
was
It
like
was
right after the podcast too.
yeah, it was the. These are the Marvel Rival guys, right?
Yeah, well, we talked about that last week. They closed that bit down, and then it was like right after the show. It was like they announced way more. They might be completely shutting down anyone they work with. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it was Negoshi, right? Which was the dude from Ryuga Gotoku, the Like a Dragon guy.
Mm.
Remember, he went and started his own
Oh, they
studio
shut
over
that
there.
down.
I think they're shutting his thing down.
Interesting.
They're shutting a bunch of like these other Japanese and Western stuff that they were working with. I think they were just cleaning house, trying to like bring it back in and not be so international, which sucks.
This is something we're gonna have to start worrying about at some point. Is like it's very inexpensive to make games over in China. You know, like the labor laws are a lot different over there, and
Yeah.
they might be able to get games out a lot quicker and a lot more affordable for a lot of these companies. And like I don't know, man. Like we could be living in a world in 10, 15 years where we're just like playing majority of our games from China.
Or yeah, like a huge chunk of them for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to see. It's the industry is definitely in a changing state. Whatever that looks like, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, people are going to have a hard time getting jobs with all the layoffs, and we'll talk about that more. Um, and then you have like up and coming nations that are just making more games, like China and Brazil and India. You know, so who knows? Who knows what we'll be playing? Maybe we'll mostly be playing international games.
Yeah. Yeah, so and then under NetEase, they have a dozen or so studios in the West and in Japan that could potentially be getting shut down. I mean, that includes Quantic Dream, Grasshopper, the one you were just talking about,
Yeah, Negoshi. Yeah.
Nagoshi. So yeah, it's God, Quantic Dream. That'd be what a fucking hit that would be. Shit.
I mean, even Grasshopper is like a fun studio. Is that Suda 51 studio, right?
Yeah, that's the No More Heroes guy, right?
No More Heroes guy.
Yeah.
Like that's just a fun, unique team that we don't have a lot of that.
Yeah.
Like
Quantic
why
Dream, I could really see too. If that Star Wars game isn't coming together right and that gets canceled, they're out. You know,
they're on their own at least. Hopefully
at
they're big
least
enough
I
because
don't
they do
even.
publish games too. So
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like that. That rarely happens where it's just like, oh, okay, hey, we're not gonna shut you down, but you're on your own. You're getting the boot. It just seems like that like rarely happens. You know, it's
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Quantic Dream
Hopefully we
2,
can see
man, it's
more of
just
that.
like I really don't like that they're making an action game out of the Star Wars thing. I wish it was just a traditional Quantic Dream game, like what they're good at, you know?
Hmm.
The movie style type of game. I think that would be really cool too in a Star Wars world, but
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and now with them like trying to compare that to The Last of Us, I'm just like, I don't want that from you guys, not really. But
No.
I get if they want
And
to like try something new, but yeah,
they
I don't
got
know.
great tech.
It
Like
just doesn't
their
seem like
engine's
the
great.
time to take a risk here, you know? Especially with a Star Wars
Yeah,
game, because like you'd think like, oh, Star Wars game, surely it's gonna sell, right? But then you look at Star Wars Outlaws, and it's like,
it sold fine,
not
but not great.
necessarily, not great.
Yeah.
I mean, not enough to make Ubisoft happy. And is
Mhm.
Star Wars Eclipse gonna sell enough to make NetEase happy? I fucking doubt it. You know,
Yeah, probably
especially
not,
with
right?
how
It's
long that game's taken, how many millions of dollars they probably already had to put into the
already been what,
project.
3 years?
Yeah, been a long
Or
fucking
2
time
years?
already. Yeah, dude, that Game Awards is becoming cursed because Star
Mhm.
Wars Eclipse and Wonder Woman were announced right there.
Yeah, and that
Uh,
same one, I
and that
remember
same
that. It was
one, yeah.
that, Alan Wake.
Yeah, it was like back to
Um,
back to back. There was a fourth one in there too, somewhere. I can't
yeah.
remember what it is, but yeah, it's at least Alan Wake came out.
Oh, was it Knights of the Old Republic?
No, that was at a PlayStation thing.
That was a PlayStation thing, that's right.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious if it was Knights of the Old Republic. Yeah, I can't remember what it was. Probably something that already came out, but whatever. Yeah, it's just it's interesting that both of those got revealed back to back. At least one of them still in the possibility of coming out, but it's not
Oof.
looking likely.
Oof.
So yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on these other NetEase studios, see what happens there.
Yeah, hopefully they don't get shut down.
Yeah, let's hope not. Next up, then Annapurna held a showcase earlier this week. Did anyone get a chance to watch the showcase?
No, I actually missed this one.
Okay.
I kinda saw some of the trailers, like, kinda going by, but, like, there was a good amount that they showed, so yeah, and, like, IGN's Game Fest is coming now, so I'm seeing a lot of trailers.
Mm.
Um, there's a lot getting revealed, which is really cool, but, yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch it, though.
Yeah, this was
Did you?
actually a really interesting way that I did watch it. This was a interesting way to do one of these. They kind of had like a rotating couch, and like the developers would come in and like talk about their
Hmm,
game and show off a little bit of gameplay, and then like the next one would come in and do that, and it looked like they were like kind of all playing each other's games. It was kind of
yeah.
an
I've seen
interesting way to do one of these.
they always have, like, a chill I've seen some of their other ones. They always had that really chill vibe. You
Yeah.
get the other ones were more like they go to them, and it shows you where they are on the map and, like, where they're the country they're from or whatever, and their vibe of their studio, and it, I always like how they do their stuff, so
What's cool too is I think every game here, or almost every game, got a demo on Steam now. Which is a
on
pretty
the next fest.
Yeah, on the next best thing. So that's interesting. It's like, oh, you can go play these right now if you wanted to.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, we can go over a couple of games then here. We don't gotta
Sure.
do everything. They showed off more Wheel World, which is
But I
interesting
remember you
looking
talking about this
chill
game.
bike
Yeah.
game. Yeah, this game looks awesome, I think. Coming from the guy that made Nidhogg, which is interesting.
Hmm.
Uh
I like Nidhogg.
yeah, making a completely different type of game here, but they were just explaining it, and they're just like, it's just a chill bike game. There are objectives if you want, but it's mostly just riding a bike. I'm just like, that's cool.
Cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That sounds
I
awesome.
wanna
You
just
know?
ride a bike.
Yeah. It's just like, hey, just ride a bike, chill out. It seems like some cool, like chill, relaxing type of music, chill vibes. I'm
Hmm.
like, I'm
I
into
like that.
this. Yeah, coming out in
Yeah.
the summer, so I think it's a good time for it too.
Yeah, sure.
No
Wheel
hard
World. I
release
keep that
date
in my
yet,
head.
but coming to everything.
Mhm.
Then they showed off more to a T. This one got a release date for
Oh,
May
yeah.
28th. This is it looks like a comedy game.
Yeah, this is Tucker was excited for this game
Oh,
when
okay.
it first got announced. So I'm sure he's excited for that game. Very weird looking game.
Yeah.
It looks cute and weird.
T-pose type thing. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
interesting, cute thing. We got another trailer for Wanderstop, which come out imminently. Comes out on March 11th. So what, 2
Just a
weeks
few
from now?
weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
couple weeks. There's a demo on Steam now as well for this, but yeah, coming out on PS5, PC, and Xbox.
Mhm.
Game looks cool. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, very curious to see how this one ends up doing. I think I'm gonna play this.
You think so?
Yeah.
Cool.
Then this one looked very interesting to me. Lush foil photography sim.
Oh, yeah.
I struggle
I
saying
remember
that word.
where was this showed at? This was showed
Yeah,
somewhere else
this was
too.
showed somewhere. See, it run a bell in my head too when I was watching this. I can't remember
I
where
remember
we
like,
first
"Oh,
saw
that
this. Might
looks
have been like an
cool."
ID at Xbox at some point or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something like that.
something like
And
that.
they were
Yeah.
just taking pictures and
But
stuff,
yeah,
right?
it's just
Yeah.
like it's just this absolutely gorgeous game where you just walk around and take pictures of stuff. And he
It was
said
cool.
there's like, yeah, he said there's like mild objectives you can do, but yeah, it's just mostly about taking pictures. Again, another like chill looking game, but yeah, it looks like unreal when you look at the graphics. Made by one guy
Hmm.
too.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. There was a
good
couple
for
games
him.
in here that were one guy, so I was like, oh, okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, good for these people.
Yeah, man. Man, dude, if you're that talented that you can make a game like that just by yourself, that's gonna be crazy. You gotta be making cash when that comes in, you know?
I guess it depends how long it took you to do it.
Yeah, sure. But still, it's just like, one game. I mean, you don't really have to sell that much to pay one person a lot, you know?
That's true. I mean, Stardew was made by one dude.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that guy. I mean,
That
how
dude's
how,
raking it.
how rich is that guy now, you know?
Ah, I would
There's a
love to
couple. The
know.
Balatro guy, he's fucking
True.
done. I would never make another game. I'll go retire.
Peace.
I'm done.
We're
Drop the mic. We're done. Next game then is Morsels, which comes out sometime later this year. I picked this one up on Fantasy Critic because I was like,
the name
this
sounds familiar. I
this
feel like I've
looks
seen this
it's like
before
a
too.
roguelite arcade thing. I don't know. What's interesting is the artist for Nidhogg is doing this game. But he's not working
Okay.
with the guy that's making Wheel World anymore. But it looks like Nidhogg, the
Yeah, kind of
graphics.
gross.
This just looks like one of those like indie darlings to me, where I'm like, oh, all you fuckers are gonna eat this one up. I could be wrong. I have no idea, but not really my type of game, anyways. But it looks very cool. The art style is awesome, and like there's some really cool monster designs in this. Action looks fun, so this is one I'm definitely keep an eye on, I think.
Cool.
Then we got Skin Deep, which comes out April 30th. This is that FPS one, I want to say. Let me click it in this video. Yeah, this is the FPS one where it is I don't know if it's multiplayer. I think it is. But I don't know. It looks interesting. It looks like something made in Roblox, if I'm being honest.
The interesting name, Skin Deep. I don't know
Skin
if I
Deep.
like that.
Yeah, sounds sexual.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if I like that. You put that in my head now. Dirty boy,
Yeah,
Daniel.
you're welcome.
This game looked awesome. Called Far Away. Made by one guy. This is the other one that was made by one guy, and it
Oh,
is
this sounds familiar.
yeah. This is a very like simple.
Like a Geometry
He was
Wars?
trying to compare it to Tetris a little bit. Yeah, just like a very like simple but can be as complex as you want it type of thing is what he was
Mhm.
saying in like the little interview he had. Looks very fun and simple, kind of like a little Vampire Survivors-y, not like that action heavy, more chill than that, but just kind of like a nice simple game where you can just kind of sit down and play it whenever and chip away at it, and
Mhm.
it looks very interesting. This one I will definitely be keeping an eye on.
Okay.
Yeah, no release date on that one, but I think all of these games were due this year. Yeah, it says Far Away, due sometime this year.
Okay.
And then the last thing that ended, there's a PS5 version of Sayonara Wild Hearts now, which was a weird thing to end on, I thought, but yeah.
They
Oh,
ended with that.
and actually, yeah, they ended on that, but there was one other thing that didn't end on this, which they should have ended on this. But there's a new game coming from the guys that make Cocoon, and they will be teaming up
Mm,
with Annapurna again for their next game. Don't know how
okay.
far they
Any
are. Don't know.
hints?
No hints, nothing like that. It was just like literally them saying that they're making a new game with Annapurna. So I'd imagine that's still years out, but something to look forward
Yeah.
to.
Okay. I know Cocoon was reviewed well, did well.
Yeah, yeah. A
Then.
lot of guys from Playdead work at this one now too,
Mhm.
so very interesting.
Yeah, this was the gameplay guy from Playdead,
I
if I remember
think,
correctly.
yeah, something
There's
like
one that
that.
I think the people that did Somerville was like the art director,
Mm, that makes
and then
sense.
this was the gameplay guy.
Who's that Playdead? Where's Playdead, man? Where
It's
are you
been
guys?
9 years
God, kill
since
me,
Inside.
kill me. They always tease us too. Like once a year, there'll be
And
like a new picture of the game.
not even an official name for the game, no
Right.
announcement.
Nothing.
It's like no idea what they're working
God.
on. I mean, it might not even be good with how many people have left.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. They may not even be Playdead anymore, really. It's
Mhm.
just a whole bunch of new people, possibly. But who knows? Who knows how many people even work there? And that's another one where it's like those guys might have just taken their money and run. I'd imagine that was made by a very small team, and Limbo and
Mhm.
Inside were both incredibly successful. So yeah, I don't blame them. I don't blame 'em. Like I said, I'd retire on a beach. So yeah, I don't blame
Yeah.
them. All right, cool. That was the Annapurna showcase. I'd imagine we'll get another one sometime later this year, or we'll just hear more about their games in the summer or whatever.
Yeah, sure. That wouldn't surprise me.
Next up, then Balatro is getting more DLC, including Fallout and Assassin's Creed later this year.
Good for
I believe
them.
the game is also now available on Game Pass. You can go and play Balatro over there.
Yeah, awesome. He's getting a lot of partnerships and deals, and
getting like bigger too a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
now we're in like the AAA games, Assassin's Creed and Fallout. That's like very big. You know,
I think the biggest one before was The Witcher, right?
Yeah, The Witcher was in
stuff?
there. Yeah, he got Cyberpunk in there as well.
Cyberpunk, yeah.
Yeah. So we're getting just getting more and more. I like to see it.
Awesome. Yeah, love to see it. Love to see.
And Bug Snacks is in here.
Wow, that's awesome.
Where's Bug Snacks? You think those guys are making a Bug Snacks too?
I don't even know who made that game. Like
it was a team. The team made something before, like something notable.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, where's Bug Snacks 2? Or their next game? And it's been 4 years, right?
Remember that song?
Yeah, I wasn't enamored by it like everyone else seemed to be.
Dude. Oh, they made Octodad. That was it.
Oh, that's what it was. Of course.
Game.
They have a good sense of humor.
Yeah. All right, continuing on then, we got some Assassin's Creed Shadow news. I don't even know what this is. Okay. Ubisoft is just reconfirming that Assassin's Creed Shadows will indeed come out on March 20th. I think there was rumors that it might have got delayed again. Also, the game leaked online.
That was also why I put that on here.
Okay,
They kind of like we're talking about the leak as well, and like it leaked like physically, I think as well. Like people were getting their physical.
I bet it was because it was supposed to come out this week, right?
Is that right? That maybe. Yeah,
it got like a month delay, like not that long.
Interesting.
Ago. So yeah, I wonder if shippers accidentally shipped it or whatever, something like that, or I don't know, people just breaking street dates. I have no idea. But yeah, reconfirming the game is indeed coming out on March 20th, despite the leak. And
I think they just recently announced. I guess
you could
the achievement.
Be careful if you're looking forward to this
lists.
game online. I guess there's probably a lot of spoilers out there if you care.
I think the achievement lists are out there as well.
Are they? Okay. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
There we go. Should be coming. I mean, certainly the biggest game coming out in March, right?
Off the top of my head, yes.
Yeah, unless I'm forgetting something.
Yeah, I think there is a few things in March, but
should be a big deal
for the
biggest. To see how Assassin's Creed does it in March. This is the first time like a mainline one's coming out in March.
Yeah,
believe, right?
It's usually in the fall. Usually like October.
Always fall. They're normally on point with that. So, yeah, interesting days ahead. Looking forward to seeing reviews on this one. Don't think I'm gonna play it, but
if it comes out really great reviews, I would, just because I like ninja stuff. So
yeah, that's the only thing like really enticed me to play it, is like, oh, they're finally doing a Japan one. But I'm just so
like Ghost of Yote is this year too,
right?
So it's like I got that.
Yeah, I already got that, and plus we're going like really heavy with ninja stuff this year, so it's like I don't know if
Ninja Gaiden's back.
A fucking 100-hour RPG Assassin's Creed on top of that. So yeah, I don't know if I necessarily want to, and I'm just like so behind and out of it with Assassin's Creed that I don't know. Yeah. I might just never play another Assassin's Creed game again. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm still very curious what they're doing with the whole Infinity side of this as well. What is going on there? Like, have they explained that? Like,
I don't think so. They need to give it up.
They haven't even.
It doesn't matter.
No one's mentioned that at all in this whole thing. Like, I just want to know, how does that work exactly? I think it's just gonna be very simple. Like, oh, you'll be able to like buy the next game through our launcher on Assassin's Creed Infinity, but I don't know. You would have thought they would have made a bigger deal about that by now, but I don't know. A month out, here we are. We still have like no answers about what the Infinity side is.
Just give up on it. That's all I have to say. Yeah. It doesn't matter. You say, yeah, that was a misstep. Here's just a game.
That's what... Here's a game. Wow. What else do you guys want? All right. Continuing on then. Blooper Team is teaming up with Konami once again for another game based on Konami IP. Got confirmation of that. Blooper Team just busy bees over there, you know. They got that Chronos game.
They tend to put out things pretty quick.
Year. Yeah, they tend to have like once a year releases almost. So
or even every other year at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for them. You know, they had a hit, so hopefully they can keep that ball rolling with Chronos. Like that was a really weird looking game. Another original game.
What'd they say at the end of last year? Like, we're only gonna make good games now.
Yeah. Instead of just up and down, good, bad, good, bad.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that one goes.
So yeah, I wonder what that means with Konami, right? It's definitely going to be another Silent Hill thing, but does that mean like a new project, or are they going to like, yeah, how about have you remake the first game now or the third game,
Yeah,
something like
if
that.
I had to bet, it would be a remake of 1 or 3.
Go back
If
to one,
Yeah,
probably.
probably. Yeah, they probably should have started with 1, quite honestly. But
Two's the most popular.
yeah, from what I
I know three's up
understand,
there as well.
1 and 3 and 4 are much more connected than 2. 2 kind of seems like its own like offshoot thing, a
Yeah,
little bit more than the other 3. So I'd imagine it's another remake, but I don't know. Maybe they're like make a new one, but there is the new one being made, the Silent Hill F by I forget
right.
what team's making that. I think it's just a team
Yeah,
under
yeah, yeah,
Konami
yeah.
now. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I would bet it's another remake though, 1 or 3.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It'd
Yeah,
be cool to see
very.
them
It's very
like make a
interesting
new
keeping
one
an eye on Konami and seeing what they're doing with other IP, seeing where they're going with them. I mean, they got a lot of
Yeah,
IP to work with, right?
yeah, they're slowly doing more
They need to get Castlevania going. They own Castlevania, right?
for sure.
Yeah,
Yep, Castlevania and Metal Gear.
yeah. So they gotta get more Castlevania going. I mean, we got the Metal Gear coming out later this year, the remake of 3. See if they get other things going in that realm. But yeah, Castlevania is the one that needs to get going now.
Yeah, like a brand new like Castlevania game.
Yeah, something like that.
Not a remake. They
There's
don't.
been
They
like
do the
collections
yeah.
recently,
They do a
right?
lot of collections.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't even know which one you'd remake. I don't even think people would necessarily even want that, right?
I mean the
For
most popular one
Castlevania.
would be Symphony of the Night.
Yeah, but it's like
Do not
kind of
remake that game.
you're
You don't need
really
to
yeah,
remake it.
exactly. It's like that's not really something people don't clamor for a remake of that. They're just like it's
No.
fine how it is. So yeah, I don't know. There's really not you can't really delve back and do that with Castlevania. So you kind of just have to go ahead. If you want to remake like Lords of Shadow or whatever, but I don't think anyone really wants that or those games weren't that beloved
No.
anyway. So
At least I feel like the first game.
yeah. All right. Well, we'll keep an eye on Konami. I mean, they are just getting more and more back into games, so cool.
It's nice to see. I don't as much as like Konami's kind of a mess and they were for a while. Like it's better to have
Seemed
more
like they didn't
people
care
making.
about games for a while, you know?
Yeah, for sure. For like 8 years there.
Yeah, like Metal Gear 5 came out and they were just like, all right, we're
We're
done.
done.
We're done
Yeah.
here, you know? Push out the shit that was Survive, and then yeah, we're kind of just done.
hmm So yeah, I want more people making games. It's Konami has a lot of great IP, some of the best IP in games. So I'd rather them be around making stuff than not.
Yeah, I wish they'd form Team Silent again, like make a new Silent Hill team, you know, to just keep pumping out new Silent Hill games. I mean, you can even do that with Metal Gear, right? It's like make a new team there that just
Yeah,
constantly
but
makes Metal Gear
it's not
games.
Kojima.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I
Yeah,
wonder how people would react to that. It's gonna happen one day, right?
probably pretty poorly.
Yeah. Alright, well, we will see. Our last news story then, this is a big one. Warner Brothers has shut down 3 games, including I didn't finish writing this one. They shut down 3 game studios, excuse me, including Monolith Productions. Believe the other one was Player First Studios
hmm
and WB San Diego would be the last one
Yeah.
there that all got shut down. And along with that, the Wonder Woman game has been canceled because, of course, that was being made over at Monolith, and that is now canned. Uh, down it goes. We're gone. No more Wonder Woman.
Insane.
Pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah. So that player first that they did multiverses.
Mm.
That is who that is. So that game's going to be shutting down as well. WB San Diego, I think, was doing an unannounced game. I think that's a new studio that we didn't know what they were making. And then obviously Monolith was doing Wonder Woman. Man, that sucks. Monolith has been around for a long time,
30 years.
making yeah, a lot of different type of games they've made. Stealth games. They've made um, first person, horror beat 'em up games with like Condemned. They've done first person shooters like Fear. Um, People love the Shadow games, Mordor and War. Um, yeah, it's just an awesome studio. It always had like super creative ideas. Um, Now they're just shut down. I know
This
we
is
kind of talked
this
about
is
them
crazy.
getting
Player
shut
First
down.
Studios was just acquired in July 2024.
Wow.
And the San Diego team was acquired in 2019.
Hmm.
July 2024, y'all lasted 6 months and they shut you down. That's fucking nuts.
Hopefully you made money.
You literally just bought them just to close them down. They
Hmm.
did not make money. They did definitely not make money. They lost
Well, with
money.
the acquisition, I mean, I hope that those people made money.
Oh yeah, yeah. Shit, you're right. Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. Monolith.
So they say going forward, they want to focus on their major IP, which would include Harry Potter, Mortal Kombat, DC, and Game of Thrones. That is what the overheads at Warner Brothers want to focus on the game side.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you click into the next thing that I posted in there, there's like a little bit more details of kind of like their future.
Yeah, so Jason Schreier did
Um,
an interview with Kind of Funny. I actually listened to this yesterday.
okay.
Yeah, and some of the major takeaways there were Monolith was not interested in making another Lord of the Rings game after Shadow of War came out, so then they moved on from there and started making an original IP. And he was talking about this yesterday. This was just crazy. So for 3 years, they were working on an original or an original IP that they knew and Warner Brothers knew would never get the green light to actually come out. But they kept working on it for 3 years. And the studio
What?
heads at Monolith and the studio heads at Warner Brothers all knew that this game was never going to see the light of day, but they let them work on it all the way up till 2021. No
What?
reason. No reason why. It's just like no reason, dude. When Jay Schreier was talking about this, there was just it just sounds like what are they doing? Like it just sounds like the executives at Warner Brothers didn't give a fuck about the video game side for so long, and they were just
Yeah.
pumping
It
money into it and like
seems clear.
deliver deliver a game. It was just like with no direction of like what was actually going on. It sounded like the head of the game side thought it was a lot safer not to make any decisions because then he'd be able to keep his job because he wasn't taking any risk uh on
What?
that's what
You
Schreier
could
was
be fired
saying.
for not doing your job
He
too.
would,
So
yeah, and that's eventually what ends up happening.
yeah.
It sounded like he was just trying to keep his job for as long as possible. And by doing that, he just wasn't making anything. He wasn't doing anything. He wasn't greenlighting anything. So there's just directionless studios for years. Years.
I mean, they're lucky with some of the studios they own, like NetherRealm, TT Games. I mean, even Rocksteady. I know that Suicide Squad wasn't much of a hit, but like they're lucky that those studios exist, you know, and kind of are putting out bangers for them. Or even Avalanche that for Hogwarts. Like they're lucky that these studios have done that so that they can make a mess everywhere else.
It sounded like the only reason there even is still a game division at Warner Brothers is because of Hogwarts Legacy. That's it. That's it. They're literally all of these studios would be getting shut down if Hogwarts Legacy didn't exist.
They would not shut down NetherRealm.
They would
There'd be
sell them
no
off.
Yeah, there'd be no way they would shut down NetherRealm. That'd be unheard of. That'd be insane.
Some other things that came out from it then was WB Montreal is currently pitching a Game of Thrones game, which he was alluding to doesn't sound like it's actually ever going to happen, and WB Montreal will probably just be a support studio.
Hmm.
Again,
That kind
it
of sucks.
just
They're a
seems like they're
talented
dragging
studio.
them along.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently WB has pitched a slew of games, all have not gotten approved, and Schreier was alluding to that, like, hey, this Game of Thrones game probably isn't happening either.
Hmm.
He said the TT does have a new Lego game that they're working on. He didn't say what it was, so that will come out
It's been a
sometime
few
next year.
years. Yeah.
Seems like, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what IP it ended up being. And then Rocksteady is in the very early stages of a new Batman game. We're assuming is probably going back to Arkham, doing something like
Hmm.
that.
Yeah, for sure. And then Avalanche, obviously, making some sort of Hogwarts Legacy 2 or whatever that's going to be.
Yeah, yeah. And they were talking about this on Kind of Funny yesterday. Do you think there's a chance Hogwarts Legacy 2 is as successful as the first?
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would it not be?
Because that fan base is kind of already satisfied. You know?
I mean, that's a fair
Like
point,
the reason it
but
sold 30 million was because this type of thing never existed in Harry Potter, and there's been such a long craving for
for
a
sure.
Harry Potter game, you know? I don't know if it does. I don't know if it sells 30 million.
But we still don't regularly get like games in that universe, you know. And I think how much people like that game, you wouldn't think that like, oh man, 20 million people wouldn't want to play a sequel to that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'll be very curious to see when it actually does launch. Like,
Yeah.
let's see. It's they're gonna have to improve upon it. Like it's gonna have to be better if they want to hit those things. You can't just shovel this shit out and just like, hey, here's another one that's like basically the same thing. It's gonna have to improve upon it in a lot of ways. So
Hmm.
yeah, we'll see. I mean, they're certainly bagging on that one, right? It's and they were talking about this on the Kind of Funny interview yesterday too. Is like, how much damage is that gonna do? Like, is Warner Brothers gonna be expecting all of these games to now sell 30 million fucking copies? Like if Rocksteady puts out this next Batman game and it only sells 5 million, is Warner Brothers like, oh, you're out of here? You
Yeah,
know,
it's not enough.
that's not enough, right? It's I don't know. That is a scary proposition, I think.
Yeah, it seems to be what some of these bigger publishers want. Like Square is never satisfied. It's like,
No.
man, what do you want from some of these games?
You're just not now. It's just I don't know. We live in such a crazy time now where it's just everyone just wants a Fortnite. But it's like there already is a Fortnite, guys. You guys aren't. No one else is making a Fortnite because there is a Fortnite. And it's
Hmm.
it's gonna be very very hard to ever capture an audience like that.
For sure. Yeah, I hope for the best for the rest of those WB studios.
Yeah,
Maybe they should have actually just sold a few years ago. Maybe not
yeah,
necessarily to Xbox, but at the time, like maybe selling, not maybe them doing the decision to not sell was the worst thing that they could have done for those
yeah.
studios.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, Schreier was talking about that too, and he was just saying like it's hard to sell the studios because not only do you have to buy the studio, you then have to pay everyone's salary when you do acquire a studio. It's not just as simple as like, oh, here's the money
Hmm.
for the studio. It's like, no, then you're shoveling in a bunch of money for the studio's next project and paying everyone's salaries and healthcare and all that type of shit too. So it's not just here's a lump sum for a studio. It's like, okay, here's a lump sum and then I'm paying a lot more on top of that for everything.
Hmm. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's up with these studios, but I hope the best for them.
Yeah, I mean, best direction for WB is just, I mean, they don't really have the studios to be doing all this. They have a good amount, but it's just like they should go the Marvel route and start
Hiring other
letting
people.
yeah, let other developers use these IP in some way. Go out and get
Hmm.
I mean, who the fuck wouldn't want to make a Batman game or anything in DC, right?
Yeah,
And
for sure.
who the fuck wouldn't want to make a different Harry Potter game or Game of Thrones or whatever? They're great IP to work with, right? It's like you have that catalog there, but you got to get the right developers on it, and you guys clearly, I mean, you're axing 3 teams here, so you have even less teams to work with now.
Hmm. Yeah. And you axed such a storied studio. It's
30
wild.
years, man, crazy, crazy. At least those guys. It seems like all those guys left after Shadow of War. That's what Trier was saying was like a majority of the top leadership at that studio left.
Mm.
So it really wasn't Monolith anymore, anyways, or it was a new formation of Monolith Studios. It sounds like all those guys are working on that Black Panther game now for EA. They're at that Cliffhanger studio now,
Hmm.
and
Interesting.
he was also alluding that that's not going well. So we'll see, we'll see, man.
We can't have nice things.
No, no, definitely can't. Sounds cool though too, like a Black Panther game. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it does. It's got a lot of
Uh,
cool powers.
yeah, yeah, that would be a cool one. All right, Daniel, that will do it for the news of the week. We can now move on to what we've been playing. Daniel, what have you been playing?
I played a little bit more Silent Hill. I've gotten through the next like few bigger sections. So I forget where I was. Was I still in the hospital the last time we talked? Um,
I believe so. Yeah.
so yeah, I made it through the hospital. Um, and then made it through the next. There was like a little bit more than you kind of said to get to the prison. Not a lot more, but there was like a little bit more in between there to get to the prison. And then I did the prison. Um, and then I just completed the labyrinth, which is pretty big too, pretty big area. Um, and then I got out of there,
I
and
like that wall with like the hands coming out of it.
yeah,
Whatever. That was cool. That was a
was
cool
it
looking
hands or
design.
legs
Yeah, I
or
don't know what the fuck it was. It was fucking weird.
then you took the sword and had to walk through it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, and he drank the fucking sword. That was cool.
Yeah, very weird.
Uh.
I didn't know what was going on in most of the labyrinth, but
Weird puzzle.
Yeah.
going, yeah, with that big block, and you're like trying
The
to,
cube thing?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's like that house you could walk in.
Um, yeah, then I'm at the hotel now. I did like
Cool.
went over the lake
Yeah, a little
to the
boat
other side of the
section.
lake. Didn't need that, but could have just had a cutscene.
Weird boat, man.
Yeah, why did that
I
exist?
don't know.
Why was
I
that
don't
a
know. You just had to ride the little boat, you know. It's cool. I wish it was like a paddle
nothing
boat,
happened?
you know. Make it ridiculous. Make it one of those like swan paddle boats, you know what I'm
Well,
talking
you
about?
know the ones where you do use your feet?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You got to tap X, you know.
Keep tapping X until you get across.
It's like running in a Rockstar game, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, now I'm at the hotel. I like got into I went through the garden and I'm in like that first I went to that like room where like
Okay.
the reception, the desk is.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I grabbed the paper and saved. That's kind of where I stopped. I didn't end up getting to play more last night, so
Cool.
that's kind of
Keep
where
an
I'm
eye
at.
on the scenery of the hotel as you playing
The
through it.
scenery.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay.
Cool stuff.
You mean like in the rooms and stuff?
Yeah. Just look around when you're in the hotel. It's cool. Yeah, that's the last section, so you're almost done.
Okay. Okay. Is the last like it's a big area, I'm
Yeah,
assuming?
yeah, it's a big area. I would say it's smaller than like the hospital and the prison were, but
Okay.
yeah,
So it's more like
it's
the labyrinth
it's the
size.
last area. Yeah, probably more in those lines.
Okay. It seems like it like thematically this was going to be the last area, but I wasn't like super sure if it was.
Yeah, there
Um
might be like there's like a small section again right after it, but not like a whole area again.
okay. You're like how many more hours do you think I have left?
Um,
A couple?
3. Yeah,
3?
yeah,
Okay.
right around there.
Not too much. Okay. Yeah, hopefully by next week I'll have it beaten. I want to start Like a Dragon. I have that game downloaded, so can't wait to get to it.
Look forward to hearing your thoughts on that one.
Mm-hmm.
What have I been playing then? I've been playing more Avowed.
Avowed. Yeah.
Losing interest, which is disappointing. Yeah,
Mm.
it's the
Is
story,
it the
man.
story?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
story. It's not working. You know, I'm like 12, 15-ish hours in, right around that mark now.
You're
And
probably most of the way through, right?
no, I mean I do a lot of side stuff. I like the
Okay.
side stuff, you know. I mean I still really like the combat, so I still really just like going out and fighting shit. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, I do a lot of that type of stuff. I'm in the second area. I think there's 3 in all. So I mean, I don't know if I'm halfway. Probably a little less than half if I had to guess. Yeah, man, it's just it feels like the story can't pick a direction it wants to go. You know, it's like there's this whole rebellion side that I kind of find more interesting than the Dream Scourge side, which is this disease that you're kind of investigating on. And it seems like the Dream Scourge thing is the A plot and the rebellion side is the B plot, you know? And I'm like, I'm more interested in the B plot, and I wish like that was kind of picking up more. And then anytime they're talking about this Dream Scourge, man, I'm just like, shut up. I don't care. You know,
Hmm.
it's like, it's so uninteresting, and I don't know why it's so uninteresting. It's just like this disease that's ramping through the lands here. And I just like couldn't care less. It's very like high fantasy. There's like this voice talking to you all the time. And I'm not the fantasy guy either. I don't like
Yeah,
love
I know you don't
fantasy
really
super
do.
amount.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, I'll play anything fantasy and like I'll like it, but yeah, I don't love
What,
fantasy,
like
so
The
maybe
Witcher,
that's
a standout?
yeah, I like The Witcher, right? It's like it's got to be good, right? It's
Yeah.
got to be like really good to like really captivate me when it's fantasy side. But yeah, Witcher's stand out. Game of Thrones, I love stuff like that. So it's
Yeah.
not like I hate fantasy by any means, but I'm not a big fantasy guy, so that's definitely holding me back a little bit there too. And it's just like nothing interesting has happened in the main story so far, which I'm just kind of shocked by. Like there's not like one moment where I can point to and be like, "Oh, that was cool," and now I really want to continue the main story, you know? There's just like nothing really captivating and grabbing me about it. And
Not
it's
even
a
just the
shame.
characters?
No, the characters kind of suck in this game, man.
Hmm.
Like Kai's cool, who's the Garrus guy, but everyone
Mhm.
else, I'm just like I found this other one. She's like this little pink lady, and she's very annoying. You get a dwarf pretty early in the game. He's just very basic, and I'm just it's funny, man. Like this game is like the exact opposite of what you'd expect an Obsidian game to be. I would expect bad combat,
Super
really
funny.
good story, really good writing, but it's actually amazing combat and pretty bad story and pretty bad writing, and it's kind of
Hmm.
baffling that that's what we ended up getting here with this game.
Maybe
I
that
listened
team is
to
doing Outer Worlds.
yeah, no, exactly. That's what I'm thinking too. Is like, okay, the A team is clearly on Outer Worlds here, and this is clearly a different team. I listened to, or I read a little bit of the Jason Schreier interview with the director of this game. I forget her name, but
Yeah, she seems really cool.
so originally this game was supposed to be Destiny meets Skyrim. That's what it was being pitched as, and you can
Okay.
kind of see that in here a little bit. You can kind of see where this would be a much more fun co-op game. I actually think maybe they should have stuck with that.
At
Um,
least co-op,
and
maybe
yeah,
like
at least
a
the
co-op
co-op side. Yeah,
game.
maybe not do the whole MMO side, but I mean, even that, like the side quests in particular, feel very fetch quest, very MMO like. Like, hey, I'm
Hmm.
an NPC. I'm gonna stand right here. I'm gonna tell you this thing, the reason I need it. You're gonna go get it and bring it right back here. That is pretty much every side quest that I've done so far, and it's like some of them are pretty interesting lore-wise. Actually, probably the best story moments I've seen thus far are in the side quests or in a few of the side quests. A few of them have been hit or miss. It's like some of the side quests I was just like, okay, that was really stupid, but then some of them I'm like, okay, that was actually a cool story moment and something I'd be expecting to be in the main story. And yeah, so yeah, side quests end up just being hit or miss. But yeah, I do kind of think you guys probably should have just stuck with the whole going the more Destiny route, because like I
Hmm.
could see it being a really fun co-op game, running around with your friends. Like I said, the combat's super fun. So if like you're just running around with your friends, talking to your friends, and not really paying attention to the story anyways, like you'd probably have a great time, and it'd be pretty fun like that. So yeah, I don't know why they ended up changing that direction, but it might have been a good route to go. So yeah, a
Interesting. So
little
is the
bit
is the
dis
combat not enough to like make you at least want to beat the game,
it's just like
or
I
even
have
Obsidian alone? You know,
it's
like
enough to make me
Obsidian's.
want to play it, but it's not
Yeah.
like enough to make me want to go. It's kind of like how I felt about like Far Cry 6, where I was just like, oh, I
Hmm. Oh
love
yeah,
playing this game,
you fell off real
but like
quick.
I
Yeah.
don't care about what's going on in the main story at all. So it's like when I have my fill of the gameplay, I'm kind of just ready to move on because I don't really care about
Yeah.
completing it. And it's not a bad game by any means. It's actually a pretty good game, but it's just yeah, it's just a shame that the story and the writing are not there, because that's what you'd expect from an Obsidian game.
Yeah, that's odd. Do you think it has anything to do with it being tied to Pillars of Eternity and like maybe not knowing that universe at all?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. It's like I certainly don't find the lore all that interesting with the bits that I am getting. I mean, there's so much shit you can read in this game, and there's like a lot of NPCs talking about the lore and what's happening in the world and stuff like that. And again, it might just go back to me not being a big fantasy guy and
Yeah.
not really being all that interested in it. But yeah, I don't know. It is just odd. But yeah, I mean, I can't compliment the actual combat enough of the game. I really do think it's like the best first person melee combat out
I
there.
mean, do you think this is going to be? I know this is so early. Like, is this going to be in our awards at the
Oh
end
Jesus, I don't know,
for
bro.
next year? Is this going to be like
We're
in
in
that kind of?
February. I
I
I mean,
know
I'll,
that's what I'm
I'll
saying.
I'll put it in a gameplay category,
Okay.
but yeah, I would certainly hope it's not in like a top 10. Like
Oh, I
it,
don't mean no. I just mean for the gameplay. The
just
gameplay
for the
award.
gameplay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would definitely
Okay.
say the gameplay would. Yeah, I mean, I like the gameplay that much for sure. It just the combat's so fun, man. It's like the parry, the dodging side to side, pulling out your sword, then having the second loadout, and now I got like the wand and the magic book going, and the magic looks like super cool, and it's fun to combine different magic things and stuff like that, and then you got a pistol on top of that and shit like that too, right? So yeah, I mean, I certainly love the combat, but yeah, I mean, I mean, I'm gonna struggle to remember this game by the end of the year,
Mhm.
you know. It's a shame, but
That
yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Obsidian's got a second game coming out this year too, so it's like, all right, I'll be expecting a lot from Outer Worlds too.
Right.
Yeah, and then I got a PS5 Pro now. I didn't really check out too much yet, so I don't really have like anything to say on like performance of other games and stuff like that.
What about the look of the Pro with having those things cut in the middle?
Yeah, it looks fine. It's actually smaller than the base PS5 was. I like overlapped them because
Yeah.
I wanted to
It's,
see. I was like, yeah.
look at that thing.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be like the same size.
The thing's huge.
It's way like thinner, and then
Okay.
a little bit shorter, and then like the width of it is way smaller as well.
Hmm.
Definitely quieter too, which I didn't even like
Okay.
notice how loud the PS5 was until I started playing on this one, and I was like, wow, was the PS5 really that loud?
Well, the
Interesting.
PS4 was loud for a lot of people too.
Yeah, PS4 is super loud. I mean, there was like fucking jet engines on that thing.
Yeah. Did
Um,
you need to use one of your forklifts to move the PS5?
it's still in here, dude. I can't get it out. It's haunting me, man. Fucking workout. Threw out my back trying to lift that thing.
Getting old.
Getting old, man.
Can't even lift a
Can't
PS5.
handle
It's
it.
so
Can't
big.
handle it no more. So yeah. Yeah. Looking forward to playing some things on it. When I get the
Yeah, what's gonna be
chance.
the first game you play?
I don't know. I don't know what the next like big game is that I'm really looking forward to here. That's out on PlayStation.
You gonna test anything on it? Like, hey, how's
I'll
what so
probably
and so
download Rebirth just because I'm interested in seeing what
Rebirth?
that looks like.
Yeah,
Yeah, just to see.
that's a good one.
But yeah, I don't know what else I'd really like test on it right now.
Yeah, Rebirth would be a great one to run around. Just look at that open world.
Yeah, yeah. See how it looks now. See
Hmm.
how unblurry it is.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
exactly.
All right, yeah, that's all I'm playing. I don't know what I'm gonna move on to here.
Yeah, you don't want to. You're not gonna get Monster Hunter, right?
Nah, yeah, not a big Monster Hunter fan. It's
What about
interesting
Like a
because like
Dragon?
this time period is pretty packed, but there's really not a lot like for me, not a
Yeah,
lot that like I'm super looking forward to. Like a Dragon, no. Just because it's one of the
the action.
spin-offs and yeah, the action. If it was a turn-based one, I probably would, but I don't know. If I was gonna play this one, I'd be like, oh no, I'd rather just go back and start with 0, do that.
I mean, hey.
I don't want to do that, Daniel.
Oh, okay.
That's not happening.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't really know what the next like big thing is. I'm looking forward to. I mean, there's 2 Point Museum comes out actually very
Oh,
soon
yeah,
here,
yeah, yeah.
so I'm very much looking forward to that.
Yeah, I
There's
sent you something in the Discord.
Wander Stop next month. Yeah, I think IGN gave it like a 9, so that
Mhm.
game's reviewing very well. And yeah,
Yeah.
Wander Stop comes out like next month. There's a couple indies that I definitely want to check out next month. And I'm trying to think like what my next like big
When does
game is.
Mouthwashing come out?
I don't think that got a date. I think that
It
just
didn't
said
actually get a day. I
yeah,
know
I
we
think
just
that
recently
just
talked
said
about that.
coming to console 2025. So
Okay.
yeah, I guess I mean South of Midnight's like early April. I'll play that. Look forward to that.
A lot of Xbox stuff.
Yeah, check that out on there. Claire Obscures at the end of April. I'll definitely play that.
And Maze Doom.
Yeah, Maze Doom. So yeah, off to the
Play that on the
races
Pro.
there. Yeah, probably. I don't know. Maybe I'll.
Do Game Pass, yeah.
Depends on the trophy list for me, if I'm being honest. Well, where I'll end up
And you
playing
just
that
went
one.
back in Platinum 2016.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know where I'll end up playing that one. Yeah. All right. Well, that will do it for the Nerd Gods Podcast, episode 264. Thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to us over at youtube.com/nerdgods. You can also find us available on all audio platforms. Daniel, anything else you want to say?
Yeah, you remember when these studios were getting bought up and all that, and we were like, yeah, we'll sell. You can buy us if you want. Yeah, we're not for sale anymore. You're not gonna buy us and shut us down.
Do we still get like that original lump sum of money?
Well, we have to renegotiate that.
Then we
I
could
mean, would there
sell, and
be
then we could just like come back
a
and
different name?
yeah, just a different name, just God's Nerdic,
No, it's the Nordic gods.
Nordic gods, yeah. Yeah. We actually just talk about Norse mythology the whole time, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Similar logo too.
That'd be fun. This week on the podcast, Odin slept with 8 different women, it's like,
Oh.
all right, cool.
He killed his baby.
Yeah, he killed his baby. Odin getting out there. All right, whatever. We'll do that. Sounds fun. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.